Hi, Foundation Course students, it's Gail here. Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to talk to you about a process called bioreaction. So what is bioreaction? This is the response we have during and after an experience or our perception of an experience that represents a threat to us. Some examples of this might be waking up in the middle of the night to a sound that sounds like gunfire, being in traffic and somebody cutting off you, being yelled at by a boss. Figuring out, for me, how to use Zoom was one of my biggest bioreactive threats a couple months ago. So you may look at some of these and think about your own examples, but we all experience bioreaction. Part of this has to do with the evolutionary survival response our ancestors had that actually helped save our survival as a species. So that fight or flight response, where it was very, very helpful many years ago, is often not helpful now because our threats are not life or death, but they can lead to experiences like chronic stress, misunderstandings in communication, and decisions that we later regret or feel are too impulsive. So this is what's going on in our brains when we're thinking about the issue of bioreaction. First, let's look at the prefrontal cortex in front of our brain. This is a large area that is responsible for thinking, reasoning, decision-making, and planning. In the back of our brains is the amygdala, and that is a smaller almond-shaped part of our brain that responds to and detects any kind of threat, whether it's real or imagined. Part of what happens in this process is something called an amygdala hijack. So the amygdala is rapidly activated to react to any kind of threat, even before the prefrontal lobe can respond with a more thoughtful reaction. During this time frame, our prefrontal lobe is not available to process the information. We do experience different kinds of reactions. Some of the physical reactions we might have is a racing heart, difficulty breathing, or having a hard time catching our breath. We might have sensations of feeling really chilled or actually feeling overheated and perspiring. There's tension around our jaw and neck muscles. We also might experience emotional sensations, confusion, mental fogginess, fear, rage, anger, in a sense of lost time or place. So this chart looks at the bioreactive process. Something happens that's a stimulus for us and triggers us. As soon as this happens, in a split second, our amygdala senses a threat, and we respond with some kind of bioreactive response. It might be a fight response where we're aggressive and attacking or defending ourselves. And don't forget, this can happen with physical fighting, but also with words, texts, tweets, right? We may be in a flight response where we want to run away from the situation as fast as we can. And this might look in more social situations like not showing up for school or withdrawing from a conversation that you feel uncomfortable with. Freeze reaction is like that old deer in the headlights response. We feel paralyzed, like we can't move. And in some ways, it may look like wanting to stand up for yourself or somebody else and being unable to respond in a conversation and say what you really feel. And then last but not least is appease, where we find ourselves, rather than confronting, placating or appeasing or even complimenting someone that's threatening or bullying us. So these are the different kind of responses we might have. They are dependent on our own experiences and the unique situation we find ourselves in. So to learn more about this, I'm going to ask you to do a bioreaction assignment that you can find right below this video. In this assignment, we'll ask you to describe a situation where you found yourself in bioreaction and then answer the questions about what that experience was like for you. We will be talking more about bioreaction, how to prevent or recover or manage our bioreactive responses more during the next couple days. Look forward to seeing you soon, and thanks for listening.